I'm going to do a crash course in setting up your fundraising campaign on GiveSignup. So the first step is I went to givesignup.org, and I'm going to click on Get Started Free. Then I'm going to click on Create a Fundraising Campaign. So this fundraising campaign that I'm going to do it for a nonprofit that I made up called the Fredericksburg Community Green Space, and this is going to be a Giving Tuesday fundraising campaign. I want my supporters to be able to fundraise for me, so they're going to be able to set up pages on my behalf on this site and collect donations. I put my contact email right there, and I'm going to call my campaign Giving Tuesday. So you notice I entered my nonprofit's name up here, and then the actual name of the campaign, which is the title of the website, right here. I'm going to enter a donation goal of $10,000. And then I would like it to show on the campaign page. So I'm going to check this box. I want a thermometer. I didn't enter a campaign end date, but I will wait until, let's say, November 1st to start it, since this is for Giving Tuesday, and Giving Tuesday is right at the end of the month of November. So I'm going to do November 1st at 5 p.m. and I'm going to leave it open-ended for now. I can always go back and set an end date later on if I want this to end on a specific day and time. This is going to be the main message that's going to show on my campaign page. So this should be about the campaign, should be about my nonprofit. I'm not going to write a long and detailed one for the sake of time, but for just for the sake of getting through this step, I'm going to put Fredericksburg Community Green Spaces Giving Tuesday campaign, support us. I'm going to click this to agree to the contract and create my fundraising campaign and continue. This step is pretty simple. All I'm doing is setting up how I want the fundraising portion of my website to work. And by that, I mean the part where people are actually setting up their own fundraisers. So for example, I would like fundraisers to end after 30 days. So everyone that creates one is going to have 30 days for their fundraiser. If they created on November 1st, they have until the end of the month. If they created on November 12th, they have 30 days from that point. And then I'm going to set a default goal for everyone of $100. Hopefully some people will exceed that, but that's where I'm going to start everyone. This option is if I wanted people to be able to set up their own end date for their fundraisers. So obviously the beginning date would be whenever they create it, and then they could set their own end date if they wanted a shorter or longer fundraiser. This is really important. The default individual fundraiser message, this is what's going to show on their pages. So I want there to be a nice default message for them to have so that they don't have to write their own if they don't want to. But this is what's going to get shared out to their friends and family who are going to see this page and maybe donate. So I would like this to be a good message that sell my mission, my nonprofits campaign to get donations. Again, for the sake of time, I'm just going to put this, but you would want to customize this and really good. I'm going to move on to the next step. This is the donation customization. So this is where you're setting up settings for the actual donations being made to this campaign. So you'll see the donation message that I entered on the first step is actually copied over here. But if I wanted to use something different for this part, I could do that. So I could change something in here or put in a totally different message to show on the donate step. These are donation levels. So I'm actually going to change them a little bit. These are our default levels that we have for you to use, which really saves you time. But I think I want to change this one to $150. And I'm going to make this one 75. And then this one's going to be 25. So I have a slightly higher, expected donation sizes that I'd like to see. So I'm going to set these levels to slightly higher amounts than we had as our default. But if you want like the defaults, you could keep those. You can name your donation levels, gold, silver, bronze, something like that. Again, I'm just going to leave mine for now. Okay, now I'm on to the branding step. So we're moving right through. I'm going to upload my logo here, and it crops nicely. I'm using a circle logo. I recommend using circle or at least a square logo that's going to crop into this circle image pretty nicely. So that looks really nice. I'm going to finish, upload that. I'm going to pick a theme color for my website. I really like this grass theme. This is for a community green space, so I think that works. So I'm going to use that. If I wanted to do a custom color scheme, I could add it here, or I could wait and get through the wizard and add it in the dashboard later on. Okay, moving on. Now we're on the payment steps. So this is where you're going to be able to attach either an existing payment account that you have on GiveSignup, RunSignup, or you can create a new payment account. I'm logged in, so I see a payment account that I've already set up on the platform for a different event that I've done. So I'm actually able to link that payment account. I also see this option where I can request to link a payment account that may be attached to an event or a website that someone in my organization has set up that I have access to. So in this case, this payment account is on a race that I have access to as a director. I don't have access to this account, but if I select it, then I'm going to get an email that says there's a request to link this payment account to this campaign, and she would have to approve it. I'm going to use my own payment account for this, but something else that I'll point out is that if you don't already have a payment account, or if you're not already associated with an existing payment account on our platform, you would see this step first rather than being defaulted to use existing. And this is where you would create a new one. It's a pretty simple form that you'll go through to create your new payment account, and then it goes through review with us. But you would create your payment account here, make your selections as far as processing fees down here, and then you would continue. And then the last option on this page is if you don't have your payment account set up, or if you just need to get through the wizard and you're going to come back to it later, you have that option under other options. And you can also use this send setup instructions by email to send it to someone else in your organization who is the one who should be setting up your payment account. So your finance person, your CFO, your treasurer, whoever that is, you may want to actually just send it to them so that they can do that step for you if you don't have the necessary information. Like I said, I have a payment account. I'm good with using mine, so I'm just going to use mine. And then I'm going to select that the processing fee for donations is actually going to come out of the charge, meaning that by default, my supporters aren't going to be covering the processing fee, but they can opt in to cover it for me. And that's what this text down here is. So it says, make your donation go further by covering the processing fee. So they'll actually have a checkbox that will be pre-checked where they can cover the processing fee for my nonprofit. And if they don't want to do that, they can just uncheck the box, but this is the prompt that they'll see. Okay. Congratulations, we just created a fundraising campaign. That took minutes, and that was with me explaining some things along the way. So you have two options here. You can go into your dashboard, or you can view your campaign website. So I'm actually going to do this first. So here's what our campaign looks like right now. It's not much because we don't have any fundraisers yet, but we can add a slideshow. People can go in here and become fundraisers. You can add more text to your description. And then obviously once you start getting donations, you'll see this nice thermometer start to fill up. So that looks really nice. And then if we had gone to the dashboard here, we would see this dashboard where we're gonna have all of our settings, everything we set up in the wizard and more that we can edit, make changes, view reports, turn on some integrations like our Facebook fundraising integration, add access for other people in our organization. So it's very simple and easy to set up your fundraising campaign on GiveSignup and to use us for something like a Giving Tuesday campaign.